Tristan,
Wish you would have.
Tristan wants more of my money.
No, I don't have any of your money. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's true. I'm trying to figure out. I have a bunch of unread text messages, and I'm trying to figure out where they're from.
Music again. Okay. 30 seconds. For reals this time.
All right, got this.
And you were nervous you would screw up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Void Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Tristan, and today with me I have my co-host, William Wallace and Ramiro Watson.
What's going on, people?
What's up, guys?
And today we're going to go back and cover the Money in the Bank results. And let's start with the pre-show.
Yep. It was a good show overall. The first match on the pre-show, we had the Good Brothers, Carl and Abs Anderson and Luke Gallows losing to the...
They didn't win.
Yeah,
I wish they would have won.
I wish. Losing to the Bludgeon Brothers. What did you guys think about this match?
I'm not a big fan of Harper and Rowan, so...
Oh, really?
No.
I really like
Never
Harper.
have been.
I really like Harper.
Yeah, I like Harper, but I'm not a big fan of Rowan.
I'm not... Yeah, Rowan
I think it's a little cheesy now at this point, and they're trying real hard. So I appreciate that, but I think it's time to let them kind of lose.
I think you're right.
Repackage.
Well, I don't know about a repackage. I mean, they just become
that would just be their
a regular wrestling
repackage
team.
at this point as well. It's the match they had on SmackDown the week after was a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess they had more time on SmackDown, which is strange because this is the pre-show, so they should have had like more than enough time. But it wasn't the best pre-show match I've ever seen.
I would rather see Carl Anderson and Gallows with the belt at this point.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're probably the best tag team on the SmackDown side of things.
I don't understand how they're on SmackDown and they're not with AJ Styles.
I mean, maybe that's coming down the road. I think it's a lot of big changes coming down the road and some big turning points.
Yeah.
Personally, with Rusev being number one contender. I think with Rusev being number one contender now, personally, what I see happening is, as much as people want Rusev to win, he's going to lose, but I feel like it's going to be because Gallows and Anderson attack him.
That might be
during
interesting.
The match.
That would be pretty interesting.
Which would be
we'll see.
Pretty cool.
We'll see.
Well, if you guys listened to last episode, you would have heard my plan or my idea for how everything should have went. And as you'll find out, my idea did not come to fruition, which sucks because my idea was better
really
than
good.
their idea.
Right. Well, we can say that about a lot of stuff.
But yeah, so then on the first match on the actual card, not the pre-show, we had Daniel Bryan beating Big Cass, and
that's 2-0, man. I think it's over with anyway.
Well, it's 3-0 technically speaking.
Right.
This was better than their last match.
Yes.
Look at that. He kicked his ass so hard, he kicked him right out of the company.
Yeah. So,
sent him packing.
So you guys want to talk about this now?
I mean, we might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well, since we're already on Cass.
So this was Big Cass's last match in the WWE.
Thankfully.
Thankfully, yes.
He was released on Tuesday, the day of SmackDown. He worked the live events on Monday, and then was fired on Tuesday. No, Tuesday.
Or Tuesday night after
Tuesday.
SmackDown.
Yeah, they
No,
made
Tuesday
an
night
announcement.
before SmackDown.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's even more telling about the firing is they didn't even wish him luck or
They
goodwill.
pulled an
Yeah,
Enzo. They
yeah.
just said, hey, he's out. See ya.
There's a lot of rumors going around.
There's
There's a rumor
speculation.
that, he did it on purpose, so that way he and Enzo can tag on the indies.
That's the last thing I want to see. I was so happy when they got split up.
If, the best thing I can tell you is if you read the Wrestling Observer report on it,
Yeah.
it kind of goes into details on a lot of stuff, but it's all speculation.
It's all speculation. There's no. This is unfortunately, I think, something we'll never have like
A full
a
answer.
full answer to. Like why Roman was suspended a year
Right.
ago. Like we still don't know why.
I mean, what's more surprising for me is around the time when they came back is when I started back watching wrestling, and I would have never thought that both of them would be out of the.
And
Out
the
of the
same
show.
like within
That's
like
crazy.
what, a 6-month period, right?
Yeah, it's like
6 or
6
7
months, and I mean that's
yeah.
3 year when they first got pulled up. It's like a 3-year period where they. I mean, I just remember the excitement when they came up.
They were
That's
so
crazy.
I went back and rewatched like their debut, the Raw after WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and they were easily like
Huge pop.
one of the most over things I've ever
Huge.
seen in wrestling. It was just it's just weird.
Well, back to the match though. I mean,
It was
Big Cass ends up losing, and I think it was
it was the heel hook.
Yep, heel hook.
Heel hook, and
It was an okay match, especially for a starter.
It was a lot better than their last match.
Right.
That's for sure. Their last match wasn't very good. And then after that, we had a segment with Kevin Owens and the New Day.
Yeah, I thought it was
so
funny.
Funny.
I thought
Yeah.
it was
Oh
funny.
God.
I just
those
like the
hilarious.
New Day and Kevin Owens, so they pretty much could have did anything. I would have liked it.
I think that this was the funniest New Day segment I've seen in a while
Mhm.
because I don't know what it is about the New Day. Just I've just felt like they've been too hokey for my tastes, and this was just one that actually made me laugh and smile. It kind of reminded me of they did this interview one time with Michael Cole where like they asked Michael Cole if he thought he was good at his job. Like I know they
I
have
think I know
nothing to
what
do,
you-
but
yeah.
that was like the last one that I remembered liking.
And it actually led to what I liked about it too is that it still led into the storyline of who
Yeah.
was going to play into the ladder match, and you still didn't get a reveal. Which at that point I was like, I hope they don't just reveal this right now. But that was good.
And the next actual wrestling match, we had Bobby Lashley,
Boy,
Laster Lashley,
I hope it's over with. Well, it is actually because
Yeah.
it's hurt, but
and defeating Sami Zayn. And as Ro said, Sami Zayn is injured. A lot of people were saying he was injured before the match,
Right.
and that's why. So this was pretty much like a squash match of sorts. And
Pretty much.
And it's weird because Sammy's, he's like a upper mid carder, I would say. And it's weird because normally in WWE the upper mid card heels get a lot more offense.
Yeah, no, Sammy got destroyed.
Yeah.
But my only thing is like that was what did we expect? Like it was kind of expected that he was going to get squashed because, like, just
Yeah, it was a normal
Yeah.
match and everything. It was the build up to this was so awful.
right.
Like all of the promos.
Everything
was.
was bad.
There was this one promo that really stands out to me where like Sami Zayn accuses him of like stolen valor.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
Lashley just stands in the middle of the ring smiling and like doesn't go after him or anything, just stands in the middle of the ring smiling and popping to the fans, and I'm like, this is not how this goes.
I think they're gonna end up wasting Bobby again, and he's gonna go somewhere else and be good.
Just as long as he doesn't show back up in Impact, because that was horrible.
No, he was fine in Impact.
He was.
I liked him
Yeah,
in
I'm about to say
Impact,
he hit a
yeah.
little bit of a groove. In
He was the
Impact.
only reason
Yeah.
I even watched Impact.
He was. They made him like the Destroyer, Bobby Lashley, where he held all the belts. It was this tough MMA guy and everything. Yeah, he was
They're
fine.
kind of doing what they. So with that though, they're kind of doing that with Austin Aries right now, because the
Yeah,
fact that Austin
yeah.
Aries has like every title out there.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I mean, but he has the personality to hold them all.
Yeah.
and
And-
be good.
Yeah, that's true too.
the thing I think about Lashley that really does him is just his voice. Honestly, like he does not have like his voice
He's
does
not a
not
monster.
fit his
Yeah.
body.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. He just sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah. So this match was just a squash match. It was whatever. decent-ish, I guess.
Not very much offense from Sammy.
No,
which
I was
is
kind of
kinda
hoping Sammy
expected.
was going to win because I've always been a huge Sammy fan, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I like Sammy as
It was
a heel,
awesome watching him get beat up, though.
so I'm fine with him losing, but I just didn't want him to get squashed like that. But,
Right.
Yeah.
And then our next match, we had Seth Rollins defeating Elias to retain the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, only to turn around and lose it the next night.
Yeah. So basically,
I guess Monday Night Rollins is over with. That's crazy to have him lose the next night. I mean, I
didn't-
get it, but whatever.
I didn't fully. That's neither. That's
He's
know.
trying to
I
start
can
a new
honestly say, though,
storyline,
I
think.
wasn't expecting that, but
I
knowing
wasn't either. I thought it'd be McIntyre to
well,
win it.
knowing we're going to get a bunch of Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins matches now
Yeah.
out of this, I'm
Well,
all for that.
I think it's going to lead into, like you were saying, McIntyre.
I think it'll lead into
more.
McIntyre. I think it'll go. Seth will beat him on Monday for the belt, and then he'll beat him again, and then it'll go into McIntyre challenge.
Either that or we'll see the split of McIntyre and
And
Dolph over the
yeah.
belt, which we can see that. But one thing I will say about that match is that I was actually pleasantly surprised with Elias, and it was one
Yeah.
moment where I thought he might actually win.
I thought Elias's showing in this was very strong. Like,
He's getting better.
granted, he was in there with Seth Rollins, and
So
you know,
Seth makes everybody look pretty good. Yeah.
Seth is like one of the 10 best wrestlers in the world. You know, he's great. So like, you know, it's hard to really say like how truly good Elias was, like just based on that match. But
Mhm.
I think like week by week, I think he's been getting a lot better and everything.
Yep.
He's kind of like okay. Honky Tonk Man talked about when they brought in Billy Gunn for the first time, and they brought him in as Rockabilly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, God.
and he was just
He's
and
like what they wanted Rockabilly to be.
yeah, he was like this is it's like what Honky Tonk Man 2.0 should have been is
Mhm.
like kind of similar to Honky Tonk Man, but not Honky Tonk Man,
Right.
like different enough.
Yep.
So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match. I liked the story of it, how Elias was like this bigger, stronger guy than Seth and
Yeah.
everything.
And he actually got a pop, which was surprising.
Yeah, he got a pretty decent pop.
Because the crowd wants to walk with Elias.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help but like the gimmick. I mean, it's pretty good.
And then the next match was our women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
The best match on the card,
You know what?
easily
Actually,
to me.
quick shout out to
I-
TJ Wilson,
Oh,
Tyson
yeah,
Kidd
yeah,
for that,
'cause
because Tyson was the one that organized the women's
Oh,
Money in
really?
the Bank match.
Yeah.
So
My-
shout out to TJ
Yeah,
for putting
shout
on
out.
one hell of a match with the women.
My only issue with this match,
Is Alexa Bliss winning?
no,
We know you're an
okay,
Alexa
okay.
Bliss, not an Alexa Bliss fan.
I'm not a fan. Okay, my issue. So Becky Lynch is on
Shoulda
the top
won.
of this ladder
Yes.
for 2 freaking minutes,
Yeah.
you guys. For 2 minutes straight, just because Alexa couldn't get in the ring fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there the entire time, and I'm like, Becky looks like the biggest geek on planet Earth, you guys. Like, she's just sitting there. And, like, let's see. I'm trying to remember. I was texting one of my friends about it, okay? And he's like, why doesn't she just... And he doesn't watch wrestling that much. And he's like, why doesn't she just pull the thing down? She's been up there for a minute
long
now.
time, right?
And then I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, Alexa's so bad.
I think it's part of the trolling from WWE. They knew everybody wanted Becky to win it. If Becky should have won it,
I was...
and they know the hate that Alexa gets, so it's like,
I was fine with the spot and everything. I'm fine with the spot and everything in theory and everything. It's just like the execution was just so sloppy. It was like, this is real life. Like, oh my God.
I love Alexa Bliss,
I
but
do
hate
too.
Alexa
I
so much.
really was hoping, because I even kind of was confused because I'm watching it and I'm like, why is Becky just not doing anything?
yeah, that was probably the worst moment. I mean, but once again, Charlotte, awesome.
I thought the men's Money in the Bank was actually better than
You
this
thought it was
one.
better?
This one was better than the one last year. The one last year
Yeah.
was awful.
They
were
did,
like,
yes. That's
I
true.
don't know what happened. Like, they were terrified to do anything last year. But
Well-
then this year it was like they were, I don't know. They
Rumor
were
is they actually like went and they did like a lot of practice to
Yeah.
make sure that this one, which I think they was good. They needed to do it to make sure that it got over.
Last year it was like they were scared
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Which I mean, I would be, I'd be thoroughly terrified as well. I mean, you mess up, you land on your back on a ladder, you broke your
Yeah,
back.
that's it.
Game over, man. But yeah, so I thought
Yeah.
it was better than the last one, but still not the best match on the card.
I think Amber Moon was really good in it. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm
Ember
a
was
huge
really
Ember
good.
Moon fan. Oh,
even
man.
Lana was okay. Like, only person I didn't like was Natalya. Like, I didn't really care for anything she did in it. But
I
have
think
no comment on that.
I know. I mean, like, I'm not talking about Natalya as a but I'm just talking about in
I
the
gotta watch
matches,
what
so-
I say, especially because
in
So-
the
I'm
match
friends
period.
with their husband. So
Yeah.
So our next segment we had Baron Corbin, Constable Baron Corbin.
you mean Kurt Angle's third son?
Or
Hey,
corporate
yo.
Kane.
I'm
Corporate
digging this
Corbin.
whole. I'm digging Constable Corbin. Like this has to be the best thing Baron Corbin's ever
Yeah,
done.
that's very true.
If this is like what his career has been building to, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
It's
he
hilarious.
fits the character. I don't know why, but he just does. He's
I love the shaved head. Like honestly, as soon as he shaved his head, I was like, "This."
as soon
is
as
the
I
best.
saw it, I was like, "That's we got corporate Kane back." So
Yep. So it was just a segment. It wasn't anything special. But I just wanted to bring it up. And then we had Roman Reigns defeating Jinder. This has to be like these people did not care about this match
at all, they put it right behind the women's match, so you knew the crowd was gonna be dead.
They did the wave for a solid minute.
Yep.
That match was so stupid.
So in a nice juxtaposition, okay, at the NXT show the night before, okay, somebody tried to do the beach ball thing, okay, and the people chanted F the beach ball and ripped up the beach ball and everything, okay? And then at this match, they not only tossed the beach ball, they started a beach ball chant. They chanted CM Punk, which I was surprised by because, I don't know, I just figured with how bad UFC 225 went.
But I think people think that he's gonna come back. But even though
No, Dana fired him.
no, I think they think he's gonna come back
yeah.
to WWE, which I seriously
That'll-
doubt if he comes back ever.
I don't want to say never. I mean, I don't want to say it'll never happen
Right.
because, never say never in wrestling. But, like,
I mean,
yeah.
look at Warrior. They said Warrior would never come back. Warrior came back. Brett came back. Macho Man came. Well, he tried to come back.
If it's
but-
if the money's there, of course he will. But if you hear him in that, like if you read the court stuff and the way he was talking, I can't see him even wanting to
I
really
don't-
go back.
I have a feeling, and call me crazy, and I know people are speculating that it's already going to happen, but I have a feeling that CM Punk is all in.
I think he'll show up for it. I don't think
he's going to wrestle because the fact that he just pretty much got his ass handed to him on a silver platter again. But
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I give him credit. This
That's right.
time,
That
he
fight
didn't
was
l-
so bad, dude.
Yeah,
he
it was
didn't
really bad.
lose.
He looked like a
quickly,
white belt,
but
and they claim he's a brown belt.
He did decent. I mean,
Nah.
he lasted the
Neither-
entire.
You have to take
thing.
This
into
looked
consideration that Mike, the guy that he was fighting, is not great either.
Oh no, that
This
guy
looked
sucks.
like one guy was taking this as serious as possible, and the other guy was taking this as a sparring session.
Yeah.
Personally, for me though, too, I've been hearing some things that it sounds like both of them got let go after that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
Because of how crappy they did.
did. They did.
So, the next match we had, but yeah, so the Roman match, my bad. Roman and Jinder,
forgettable.
as a match, nothing happened.
Nothing.
Like it was a Roman match and it was a Jinder match, so it wasn't a good match. Well, okay.
Except for Jinder's hindering.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, to you.
Jinder's
You're
bad.
the only one that wants it to be
Jinder's
hindered.
bad.
I think somebody I heard
I've
say
explained this to you. And
somebody
you
say
agreed with me.
he's going to do another
Oh my god.
another storyline change
See, Willie,
for gender.
you've also said that Alexa Bliss is bad.
And she is
And
bad.
I
You're
don't
the-
think she's bad
you're
for
the-
her
She's
character.
bad.
Only
Her-
one on the entire group of us that do this podcast that say Alexa Bliss is
Her
bad.
matches are awful.
I think her
Ronda
her
is-
wrestling fits
okay,
into her
Ronda
character.
Rousey, who's had 2 pro wrestling matches,
Mm-hmm.
both of which were 1,000 times better than anything Alexa's ever done in her 5-year career. And Alexa's had matches with way better workers than
But do
than
you-
Ronda has.
This is my only take on that I'll say.
Alexa has decent-ish
agree.
promos.
I agree with you that Ronda's matches were great,
Oh yeah.
but I think they're taking care of Ronda a lot more than they are to
She
anybody
sold
else.
like crazy in that Nia match.
She was good.
She was selling her ass off in that
But
match.
you can easily put her. Let's just never
She
forget
should
that
not
she's
be
a
better than
world.
Alexa.
She's a world class athlete, and she's a judo champion, Olympian, and all that. So the stuff that she's doing, she's been doing her whole life.
Tons of people who try to make the transition from MMA into wrestling, and it doesn't
vice
work out.
versa.
That's true.
Ken Shamrock tried it for years, and it never worked. Well, actually, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, so Ken
Shamrock-
Shamrock
it
worked.
worked.
He was pretty decent.
And so
yeah.
did Dan Severn.
Yeah,
So
Dan Severn was fine. Flipping, who was it?
Brock.
Shinsuke Nakamura when he was first in New Japan. He was one of the worst wrestlers I'd ever saw.
I think Ronda's gonna be great. She is actually pretty. She's
She's
a lot
already
better than I thought.
like 2/3 of this division.
But let's see her get in the match where she has to actually do more than just a couple arm bars, and we'll see.
She did
Where
more
she
than
did-
just a couple arm bars.
It was
were-
Nia doing her power moves,
It was
and then it was a couple flying arm bars and arm bars.
she did judo throws. She did her punches look great. They look better than like the men's punches and everything.
She's good. We know
She's
that.
way better than like everyone else in this division, excluding maybe like 4 or 5
Charlotte.
other people. It's like, man.
Apparently, that's a really touchy subject.
Yes.
Well, apparently the women's division is not a good subject to talk about.
It's okay. It's because
Hey, I like the fight, man. I
it's
love it.
because they try to push this division as this like they're trying to push it as this whole like, oh yeah, these are our women and
They're so awesome. They're
they
great.
can work so great. And then it's
Uh-huh.
like your champion is Alexa Bliss, who isn't a great worker.
That's the
she
point,
cuts-
though. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's
the
not.
point is
that
is-
should not be the point. If you're gonna push a division and you're gonna push them as like top workers who can work just as good as the men, it's like none of your girls. Alexa cannot even come close to even like a guy like Zack Ryder, who's just a guy. You
But
know, it's like
So this
God,
is
I feel like you're comparing Alexa Bliss to Eva Marie.
right.
I would say. I mean,
You think that's the same? Wow.
She's like-
well, we talk. I mean, we on
she's-
such opposite
she's-
ends.
She's better than Eva, but like in
But-
terms of in ring work.
I give you that. But my take on it is that her character is not supposed to be this great wrestler. She's supposed to be the conniving villain who always finds a way to win, even though she's not the
Ric
best.
Flair was a conniving
But
villain.
Ric Flair was good.
That's
at
not
wrestling.
an excuse. Edge was a conniving
we-
villain,
we
and
gonna
Edge
have-
was awesome.
Look
Right,
at-
but
poor Randy's got to turn your mic down because you're getting so high pitched, man.
This isn't even a good argument for
It-
being a shitty wrestler. It's just
I think you could be a crappy wrestler
Oh, this is
and
great.
have a good character that makes you a villain. That's it.
that's. I mean, but that's different. Okay.
So this is exactly
Like-
what I wanted out of this podcast, was to be able to have difference of opinions.
Alexa's bad. Okay. Alexa's character is bad as well. Okay. It's the typical mean girl WWE character that we've seen 1,000 times.
But she does it better than any of them we've ever seen. Who's better at being a mean girl than her?
TNA did it better.
I don't watch TNA, so I can't.
The beautiful people. Taylor.
Sorry, that's
I
just
think
funny.
she's good
That's funny.
at the rap. But that's like saying, is Daniel Bryan better than Stone Cold? Like, it's not like we
Layla
can't
did-
compare the people that were in the past. They're not in there right now. I'm saying right now she's the best mean girl that they have. She's the best villain they have. Period.
Candice McCool and
Candice
Layla.
McCool.
Candice McCool. No,
Michelle
fuck.
McCool.
Michelle
Michelle
McCool.
McCool.
And Layla did this better.
You're thinking
Right
Candice
now,
And it
Michelle.
sucked
Right now.
when they did it.
Right now, though, who's the best? Who's a villain in WWE right now?
In WWE, who's
That's
a
better than her.
Who's a better villain?
You hate the fact that Carmella has the belt, so we can't say Carmella.
Carmella's bad.
Who else?
I give you credit
They
on
have
that.
to-
Carmella
Sasha's
is
a
pretty
great
bad.
heel.
Sasha, who?
Sasha's a great heel.
No,
Yes, she is.
it's not working. They don't. Nobody wants her to be a heel though.
Yes, they do. That's why
They
they're
want to
booing
cheer
her.
for her. They want to
They
cheer
want
for
Bailey to be the
No,
bad person.
that's why they're booing her.
her. Nah, we gonna have to disagree on that. Let's because we never
Shit,
gonna
we
be
could spend the whole hour in the
Fuck
women's
man.
division. I know what's next episode. Episode
gonna
9,
fight for
Shayna
Shayna
Alexa.
Baszler is better than
I'm
her.
fighting for Alexa Bliss. You're
I
not
just
gonna
thought about
convince
this.
me.
In NXT, Shayna Baszler is better than her.
Nope, I'm not.
Yes,
You're not
she
convincing
is.
me. You're not going to convince me that
She's
a better
way
heel.
better than her.
Troy, if you're watching this, I need you to voice your opinion.
Shayna's better than
I'm
her.
riding for Alexa Bliss. I think she's good.
What's the next match,
She's
Will?
bad. She's so bad. So the next match was Carmella defeating
Oh, Jesus.
Asuka.
Speaking of the devil,
Irony.
Skip.
All right. So this is easily. So I don't like Alexa, but I
This
like
is the best
Alexa's
she did.
promos. That's the thing.
hmm
Well, okay, her promos are decent. I'll give her that.
So
Carmella's promos are awful.
speaking of
And she's a bad
Carmella's
wrestler.
match, though,
This was
bet wise, I still think I deserve 2 points on that because
That
I
does
see
not
I
count,
called James
man.
Ellsworth coming
That
in
does
for an
not
interference.
count. That's like nobody else on the face of the earth thought that. Okay.
Yeah, it's
well,
'cause
I
you
called
guys
that he was
don't pay
gonna. I
attention.
said he was gonna. They're gonna bring him back a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it's-
So
I never thought they'd bring him back.
I saw. Remember
thought
we talked about. I
I
said
thought he'd ran his course. Honestly, like I thought
I
he
seen
was
him as
done.
useful. Like I could see where they could use him in a lot of different.
I swear to God, if they don't sign him to a deal and he doesn't appear as a manager,
because
I'm
what
gonna
he's
be-
been doing, right? What he's been doing on the outside, because
He's just been.
he's been doing the whole man versus women belts type thing.
Yeah, he created an
Yeah.
intergender
Intergender championship,
which is awesome.
right? And that's what he's been doing. So I could see them.
I have a feeling
They
Austin
actually
Aries is
sent
going
this.
for
This
it.
speaks to. I remember. I think we talked about it on air. I played one of the wrestling games, and they sent out like surveys.
Fire Pro World.
Well, I play WWE Champions,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and one of the surveys they
Cheap
sent
plug.
out, cheap plug,
plug.
right? They sent out a survey asking how, and the gist of the survey was asking how would you feel about guys and girls
Yeah.
like fighting on the show or in the game. And I at that point I was like, okay, they wouldn't be asking this if it wasn't something that they're gonna do with it. So
So this was a bad match.
it was
Especially the
it was
ending.
unbelievable. It was just it was too
So they spent the last 8 months getting Carmella over as this goofy heel
Yeah.
who couldn't rest, and now they want her to be taken seriously.
and she's beating a person who's been undefeated for forever.
And
She's just
then-
throwing her around the ring like it's nothing
And then James Ellsworth shows up,
with the mask.
and for some reason this stuns Asuka for 10 minutes straight.
Right.
And
It wasn't.
It stunned me for a minute too. I knew it was gonna happen. The second I seen those pale chicken legs, I was like,
And
Oh
he
my
had
God,
some
it's
skinny
James
jeans
Ellsworth.
on. Yeah, he said-
I thought James had run his course and everything.
and when he took the mask off and did that stupid wink,
I guess
Ugh. made me want to punch his chin back.
I mean, I guess the segment never. I guess
they
this,
never really finished it.
I
the way
guess
they
this
needed
does
to.
give it the chance to get closure and everything.
Yeah.
But I just thought Ellsworth had run his course and
See,
everything.
personally, I think if James Ellsworth ever appears in a WWE game, they need to have a story mode
He has to
where
have a
there's a
solid,
side quest where you have to find
45.
Ellsworth's chin.
He has to have a solid 45 superstar rating.
I still say
Lowest rating ever.
Yeah, in the history of the game.
I tell you what, I think the lowest rating last year was for Epico and Primo. I think they had
Wow.
a 65,
Yeah,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is an insult because they are
Do you remember
two of the
in,
greatest athletes on the roster.
SmackDown Shut Your Mouth when the divas would have 40s and stuff?
yeah, yep. I definitely remember that, and I thought they missed the opportunity because the reason I thought Ellsworth would be back is because I thought he would be the perfect person for them to slide in for Braun in that tag team match.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That would have been an end to the storyline that we all
I'll
wanted.
give you that one. That would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. So,
Is
but
Ellsworth.
we'll see
then-
where it goes with him.
Yeah. So then the next match was AJ Styles beating Shinsuke Nakamura.
So disappointed in the whole
Yes.
storyline, man.
I love
The
AJ
match wasn't bad,
Styles, but I really, really, really.
It wasn't
was
the best
wanting
match I've
some-
seen them,
Shinsuke.
but
I think. Okay. This was the best WWE match they've
Right.
had. Still worse than their one match in New Japan.
mm-hmm.
But still better than a decent amount of what was on this card.
Is this all we can expect though? Because it has to be.
Well, I mean,
how
but-
much further can they go with it?
I mean, I think the next well, like the next story is going to be from SmackDown. It's going to be Shinsuke and Jeff Hardy.
Mhm.
And they had, so I'm wondering if they're going to bring back Jeff's old theme song.
I seriously hope so.
Yeah, dude, that song is so great. What's it called? And Ever After or something like that?
No more words.
Yeah, No More Words. And then, because they had him wear the face paint and everything. Right. And then it's going to, clearly be AJ and Rusev.
Yeah.
It's going to be a glorious Rusev day.
Mm-hmm. So this match was
a lot of low blows.
What did you think of it? I like the ending.
I liked it, but
ending.
Yeah, I like the ending.
I don't know. I was really hoping Shinsuke Nakamura was going to win because I think
he deserves it.
Yeah, because the fact that he's lost 4 times now since WrestleMania.
Yep.
Well,
and I called it at WrestleMania that I was against everybody. You guys all called AJ Styles, but I called Nakamura because I figured with the way everything goes, WWE is so predictable.
Yeah.
When their storylines sometimes that it's like, oh, okay, well, bad guy's going to lose 4 times, then he's going to come back and he's going to win. And I guarantee what's going to happen now that I'm thinking about it, Shinsuke's going to interfere in the Rusev match.
Which means Rusev probably won't get the belt.
Which means Rusev will win, but it'll be by disqualification. Or referee gets knocked down, Shinsuke comes out, takes out the ref, Rusev gets knocked down, and then he pins AJ, and it's 1, 2, 3. Rusev's new champ.
Well, when he lost, I was like, yo, my prediction is going to happen. And we're about to get into my prediction because the next match was Ronda Rousey defeating Nia via disqualification and not winning the belt.
Really good match for both of them to me.
Yep. For being Ronda's first actual singles match, she did a hell of a job.
And let's not forget, Nia hasn't been wrestling that long either. So
No.
It was really good for her.
Yep. This is how they should be booking Nia the entire time. It's just as this dominant monster and everything.
And they actually I feel like they booked, it's a monster against the unstoppable force is how it felt.
Yep.
Like, Ronda's, we know what Ronda is in real life, and they're booking her kind of like she should be booked. I like it. I have nothing bad to say about it. I know.
Then at the end of this match, we had Alexa Bliss cashing in Money in the Bank on Nia.
And this is why I say she's
this
the
segment
best
a lot, though.
villain.
I did like this segment. This whole her coming out. I loved her just throwing everybody into everything.
Yep.
And just, I like Nia showing off her toughness by getting up.
Everybody was protected. That's what I like.
Yeah, I like that. And then the next night on Raw, you had a pretty great segment
where
Ronda beats
comes
up
and just destroys everything.
Yeah, I thought that segment was pretty great. I thought Alexa got a little too much in.
Yeah, she was doing a little bit too much talking.
But that's whatever.
Yeah.
So I like this segment. I like what it led into. I like that they took Ronda off TV. Well, actually, I didn't like that because it sounded like
I think she's doing a movie or it's something else going on where they had to buy her some time.
Yeah,
I know she's getting inducted into the UFC Hall.
So
of
maybe
Fame.
that's what it is. Just
So
buys
I'm
her
wondering
some
if
time.
something around that's supposed to happen. But then again, who knows?
I think they're going to try to get her in some movies real quick.
Probably.
And
would be a
then-
bad idea.
finally our last match on this card. This will probably be the last thing we cover is.
Actually, I got a couple things to plug too.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
yep. And then we had Braun Snowman defeating Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, The Miz, Samoa Joe, Rusev, and Kofi Kingston to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I thought this was the best match on
I
the
think
card.
it was.
Hey, I'm glad
It could easy. Both of them were close. I like both of them.
I enjoyed both. I think the men's was just better because you didn't have that ending part. But like,
But see, I
I
also
like the
feel like,
women's spots a lot though.
Yeah,
That
I was
the
about
other
to
thing.
say.
They had great spots in that match.
but I think like what only thing I didn't like is that Braun just did not need to win the. I think they could have did more storylines with it without having
Watching
him win.
Braun run down the ramp though,
Yeah,
and
and
barrel
then
through
do
the
the
ladder.
barrel.
It was awesome.
That was awesome.
Jeez.
Yeah, it
But
was.
like when he was
It
up
was
on the
intense.
ramp and Miz is climbing, I was like, "This is it. I
Yep.
called this. It's gonna happen exactly how I said it should happen." And that's Miz wins the Money in the Bank, and then cashes in on Daniel Bryan
Mhm.
right after Bryan wins the title at SummerSlam. And then you go into that story, but then they swerved me and made Braun. So Braun winning is fine too because
Yeah.
I mean,
what else do we expect? It's Braun Strowman. He should win, right?
Yeah, he probably. I mean,
They could at least raise the briefcase a little bit higher. Did you see the signs?
Yeah,
They had a sign like right under. I don't know if they did that on purpose.
I think they did it on purpose.
Yeah, they had a sign like right under the briefcase that said "Raise the briefcase more."
Yeah.
So that was good.
So you said
What's
you had
your
a couple
take, Tristan?
Yeah, I loved. I'm a huge Braun Strowman fan.
Right.
I've already talked to you about it before, bro. Because I know
I am too.
Braun has gotten so much better.
And so
personally
fast.
though, like if out of WWE, if there was any person I could have on this show, it would be
It would
Braun
be Braun
Strowman.
Strowman. Yes,
That'd be so fun.
Because
just to sit
can
next to
imagine-
him and just see how huge he is.
Oh, I can
I feel
imagine.
so intimidated next to him.
But overall, I think I would have went maybe with Rusev, but seeing that Rusev is number one contender regardless
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter because it would have defeated the purpose. But I think Braun Strowman winning was really cool because now that means any given time
He can cash.
Roman's. I have a guarantee it's going to be SummerSlam. Roman's going to win, and then Braun's going to come in and cash in.
Yep.
And then it's going to be Braun Strowman as champion.
That's awesome.
So I think Braun's gonna. I think it's gonna be the summer of Braun, which is pretty cool to me.
Yeah. I got another take on that, but we can go ahead and
Is it really
catch
still
it up.
the summer of Braun if like Braun wins the title at the end of August?
Maybe.
Is it?
Depends on what he does in the
Yeah,
mid
I guess so.
I mean,
I-
think of how he's tried
if it was the summer
multiple
of
times
Punk,
and he's failed.
yeah, if it was the summer of Punk and Punk won the belt
At
and
the end
then
of- right.
lost it immediately after, yeah.
So,
All right, so going into the next stuff.
just want to take a quick minute and plug a couple wrestling events coming up in our area. There's a Pure Pro wrestling event at the Flint Iceland Arena and next Saturday,
Next Saturday,
July 28th,
Pure always puts on
and
great
it
shows.
has a.
Well, that's not next Saturday. That's a couple weeks.
Oh, that's next
July
Saturday.
28th.
Oh no, that's never mind. My bad. It's about a month from now.
Right.
About a month from now, next Saturday.
So you got plenty of time to get your tickets.
Yes.
Go on, and you actually can log on today and try to get your tickets so you'll be ready.
You
I was
can
thinking about
get your
it.
tickets at pureprowrestling.net or reach out to any of the Pure Pro Wrestling superstars like Big Bad Wolf Face Evans or his fellow Nomad members, the Michigan State World Heavyweight Champion Malice, and or anybody on the roster, as well as August 11th, Clash Wrestling returns to Taylortown Trade Center.
Clash always puts on great shows.
Yes.
You guys.
Always.
Both companies are stellar. Like they always put on great shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Everybody has to know we got some good wrestling shows out here in Michigan.
yeah.
We've always had good wrestling shows,
Mm-hmm.
but we got some good talent out here right now. So please support them and check them out.
And then another good show is XICW.
XICW. Always.
Not sure when their next event is, but look them up because that's
So you
actually last year. It was in October. It was the first African American wrestling company in Michigan
Oh, really?
to sell out Kobo.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I heard about that.
What's the name of Who was that again?
XICW.
Yep.
XICW.
It was a big deal.
I'll
They
check
brought
them
in Jim Cornette. That's
Jim
when
Cornette,
the Jim
Santino,
Cornette
and a couple other people.
That's when the Jim Cornette Santino thing happened.
Hey, when that whole
Oh,
incident
really?
happened at Kobo,
Yeah.
that's what it was for.
That
Oh.
let's see. Cornette even said that he was looking for Malcolm the entire
I
time.
mean, Cornette has been a big advocate for, the African American wrestlers. So that's, I mean, I thank him for that.
Alrighty, so again, July 28th, 2018, Pure Pro Wrestling, Flint Iceland Arena, 6 p.m. General admission, doors open, 7 p.m. bell time. Clash Wrestling, August 11th, Taylortown Trade Center.
Yep.
That's it, guys. Thanks for
And,
joining us, and join us next week
be sure
at
to
12 p.m. again for another episode of Void Wrestling Podcast
like the Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
and Snapchat.
And Snapchat.
And don't forget, if you got some stuff you want us to talk about, send us an email, send us a post on live or on Facebook, and we'll get back to you.
Yep.
Have a nice one, guys.
Have a wonderful day. All right. Oh, great.
Yeah, dude.